Well, disappointed that of the outcome of the game. I'm proud of our guys in the way that we prepared. I'm proud of our guys in the way that they competed against a really, really good team, on the road, against difficult style of play to go against. And thought we handled most of their pressure, especially midway point of the first half, second half, very well. And guys made plays for each other, stepped up and made enough plays defensively, most importantly, getting some stops to have an opportunity to win this game. And that's what you hope for when you go on the road against a team like this. You want to battle. You want to find a way to be right there at the end. And for us, I think in our coaches in our locker room, though, that locker room was vastly different than a lot of locker rooms I've been in here. That was a very, very upset team. It's an upset group because you're pouring your heart out, and the things that you stress every day that have to be good for this team to be successful. And it comes down to rebounding the ball a lot of times, and our inability to get some scrappy ones, our inability to get some big ones, just especially late, is disappointing. It's something that we can control, but we'll continue to work on it and get better. We have a together group, and we're looking forward to obviously getting home.
All right, Jeff Rabjohn's first question.
Hey, Coach, your thoughts real quick about how Trace played tonight, especially considering the length that Florida State brings.
Well, he was ready to play. Games like this, you need your best players, obviously excited and motivated. He gives everybody confidence, but our guards did a good job of being able to find him a few times. He did an unbelievable job of pursuing the ball all night, by evidence of the rebounding numbers, 17 rebounds. But, he was a warrior for us. I think, clearly he's showing right now that he's one of the best players in college basketball. And he's just got to keep growing. He's got to keep growing. He's got to keep being a positive leader, which he is. And he's got to continue to be motivated to take this team to another level. And I think everybody else has got to, rise up just as well. Trace was great tonight. Couldn't ask him probably to do a lot more.
Zach Osterman.
I guess, Archie, you talked a little bit about the way that your guys kind of, I think you said, defended for one another. Just how pleased were you maybe with the way that you defended through kind of some cold stretches offensively, that didn't seem to affect your effort kind of at the defensive end of the floor for long stretches?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure if Zach can hear me, but his question was kind of, choppy. But I guess the gist of it, Zach, would be you can't allow your offense in any game, but in particular a game like this, to frustrate you on the defensive end. And we know Florida State's going to make things feel a lot different than other teams. They don't give you anything that you're accustomed to doing. But I thought we played with confidence on offense. Our offense, for the most part, was able to function and get some quality shots. There's going to be possessions that result in chaos and turnovers at times versus Florida State because of the way they play. But we're hanging our hat right now defensively. And our team is a better defensive team right now than we've been. Against these guys, you got to really do a great job of guarding the ball. They got tremendous size on the perimeter. And I thought for the most part, we hung in there pretty tough. I'll put the coast-to-coast layup at the end of the game is on me. We got to be better in special situations. You can't let a guy get a full head of steam and go coast-to-coast. You got to be able to slow him down. So, the last play's on me. It's not on the players. But just in general, I think our guys continued to battle through, fight through. Everybody that was in the game, made plays. But defensively, if we continue to keep hanging our hat there, and we got to improve rebounding. It's a big, big concern. And in our losses, it's been a big concern. And, for the most part in this game, if we control the backboard and we get those 50-50s, we're able to pull this one out.
John Blau.
You brought up the rebounding there. Obviously, you tied them on the boards, but early you guys were able to rebound the ball pretty well. So how do you square that in terms of what you're able to get in the first half of most of the game as opposed to kind of how it was late in terms of how you feel about that phase?
I don't feel good about rebounding. For me and our staff, it's our number one concern. And I think that we're forcing teams into possessions late in the clock where they got to drive the ball, and I think when you drive, your defense typically collapses. But, big thing in this game right here was their perimeter people coming in for the offensive rebounds. Florida State does a great job of coming up with their press every time. So their guards are never really getting penalized for running in for rebounds. So a big part of this one was going to be long ones. It was going to be the ones that are on the ground that you got to get. And they came up with probably at least 5 to 7 end of regulation. You can't come up with those key stops when you get the stop. And, we got to be better early in the game, setting the tone. I thought setting the tone early in the game, they were bigger and they were faster and quicker. And we're just going to have to be, as crazy as it sounds, it's probably the number one thing that is going to hold us back is if we cannot find a way to rebound the ball better.
All right, last question, Mike Schumann.
Yeah, Coach, along the lines of not being able to get possession late there, it looked like Armand had a steal there in the last seconds of regulation.
He did.
Called a timeout. What kind of explanation did you get as to why they didn't give him that timeout?
Armand stole the ball and underneath out of bounds and called timeout with his foot on the ground. And that was my view. The officiating crew, basically said they thought he was falling out of bounds, and you can't reward a player for falling out of bounds and calling timeout. But Armand's foot was on the ground when he called timeout. And I think, whether he fell down or was falling out, I think that's probably when the official saw him and thought he was calling it maybe when he was falling out of bounds. But definitely I thought Armand stole it, called timeout, had his feet on the ground. And it was a tough play. There was a lot of tough plays in this game, but when you're on the road, that's what you got to expect.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you.